All right, Larry Kruger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show with a little San Francisco Giant look ahead to the free agent market. What do the odds say about who the Giants are going to sign in free agency? Very interesting. We'll get to it in just a second. Of course, we're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue you're going to find. Get the brisket chili. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them that Larry Kruger sent you. And this video is brought to you by Mojo Fantasy. That's right, the Krug Show brought to you by Mojo Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Make sure you use the promo code Krug and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. And everybody who does and hits that promo code Krug automatically is entered into a drawing to win a Nick Bosa or a Brock Purdy jersey, which we'll be giving away on the postgame show on Thanksgiving night after Niners Hawks from Seattle. All right, let's talk a little Giants baseball. Very interesting. One of my good friends sends me odds every day on everything, college football, NFL, you name it. And this week they had the odds on the free agents and who's going where and who's favored to sign each free agent. And it really is interesting because it does, I've always believed that if you check out the odds, you're going to have a pretty good idea of, who's going where and who's most likely to land these top free agents. So, I always look at the odds and always check it out to see exactly, where the Giants are ranked as far as, these free agents. Who are they expected to get? Who are they not expected to get? It's always really interesting. So let's go through it. Um, Now the Giants are 10-1, or I should say, yeah, 10-1 to land Sonny Gray. I thought Sonny Gray would be, a guy the Giants would be, one of the premier teams to sign Sonny Gray just because of the connection to the A's and Farhan. But the Giants are the ninth choice. So there are eight other teams that have greater odds to land Sonny Gray than the Giants, and the Giants are sitting there at 10-1 to sign Sonny Gray. Matt Chapman is another one. I thought, there's been some talk that Matt Chapman visited with Bob Melvin at the GM meetings in Arizona, and the Giants are 14-1 to sign Matt Chapman. And they're the ninth choice. So there are eight teams in front of them as far as the odds. Now, I bet you I bet you the Giants' chances of signing Matt Chapman are actually significantly higher than 14-1. But that's what my good friend Jimmy Shapiro sent me the odds. And he says, you know what? Chapman's 14-1. They're the ninth choice to sign Matt Chapman. How about Jordan Montgomery, the starting pitcher? The Giants are 20-1 to sign Montgomery. They're the 12th choice. So there are 11 teams that have better odds of signing Jordan Montgomery. How about Blake Snell? Blake Snell may be the Cy Young Award winner this year. The Giants are 10-1 to sign Blake Snell. A little bit better. They're the seventh choice. So there are six teams in front of them to sign Blake Snell. Now, there's been a lot of reports that the Giants are really hot to trot on the Japanese pitcher, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And when I watch Yamamoto, man, I see Tim Lincecum. I mean, I really do. He's a smallish pitcher, but he takes a huge stride to the plate. He's got an unbelievable power arsenal. The guy throws a fastball 96 to 98. He's got just a ridiculous splitter that falls off the table. That he's got great touch with, or either it's a splitter or a slider. It has slider-like movement for sure, but I think he listed as a splitter. He also has a curveball that he kind of throws from an odd angle that has a ton of movement as well. And Yamamoto is a guy that, there's been talk that the Giants, went to visit him in Japan and that they're not going to get outbid, so on and so forth. The Giants are listed as the seventh choice to land Yamamoto. Their odds of landing him are 12-1. A lot of people think that the Mets and the Yankees will be the primary bidders for Yamamoto. I kind of see Yamamoto as a guy who might be the talk of baseball in April and May because his stuff is dirty. I mean, his stuff is absolutely premier. He's only 25. He's coming over from Japan. You're going to have to satisfy him on a contract. You're also going to have to satisfy his Japanese team with a posting fee. So it's not going to be cheap at all. But the good news is that because he's coming from Japan, there's no draft pick compensation attached to him. So you don't have to give away your, any kind of a sandwich pick or in the amateur draft like some of these other top tier free agents, but you do have to satisfy the Oryx Buffaloes with a posting fee in addition to paying his monster salary, which he's going to get huge dollars. So, and some people are suggesting he might get a 12-year deal, which sounds outrageous for a 5'10" power pitcher. I mean, Tim Lincecum didn't last for 12 years. Why would Yamamoto last for 12 years? So it's all these free agent signings. It's a major risk. It's a major risk. But the Giants are 12-1 to sign Yamamoto, seventh best option. So there's 6 teams that have better odds of signing Yamamoto. By the way, the Giants, as far as where they sit right now, they're 16-1 to win the NL pennant, and they're the 8th team. So, obviously that's not great, right? That means there's 7 teams that have better odds in the National League right now of winning the NL pennant and going to the World Series next year. So the Giants have significant work to do. Now, how about Shohei Otani? Now we're getting into where the free agents of the Giants are a little bit closer to the top of the list. Now, it doesn't really matter if you finish as the runner up or if you finish as the 4th best team in the bidding. All that really matters is that you sign these guys or don't, right? But the Giants in the Shohei Otani bidding are listed at 6-1. So 6-1 on Otani, and they are the 4th choice. The Dodgers are the favorite, and the Giants are at 6-1. So there's 3 other teams in front of the Giants that consider that, according to the odds makers, have better odds of landing Shohei Otani. But the Giants are 6-1, and they're the 4th choice. So who are they? Who are they most likely to land? Well, you could argue Otani is, they're one of the top teams for Otani. But when you look at the odds as well, Cody Bellinger, the Giants are 7-1 to land Cody Bellinger. And they're the 5th choice for Bellinger. The Yankees are in there, the Cubs are in there, the Dodgers potentially re-signing Bellinger are in there as well. And the Giants are the 5th choice to sign Cody Bellinger. Bellinger's 28. He's coming off a 300 season with the Cubs. Prior to that, he had 2 really subpar seasons, and supposedly he wants a 12-year deal. So you're talking about signing a guy who's had 1 good year and 2 really bad years and had some shoulder problems prior to that for his entire 30s. Like, you're going to buy out all of his 30s. And it seems to be a huge risk, especially when you think of what he's done over the last 3 or 4 years. He was incredible as a young player in LA, that he had shoulder problems. Boris says that his struggles are all tied to the shoulder problems that he had, that he was finally healthy this year with the Cubs. He had a great year, power, speed. He can play center field. He can play first base. God knows he would be a great Giant, and it would be a fantastic addition. But there's significant risk. Was it all the shoulder? And if it was the shoulder, what happens if he has a recurring injury? The Giants could be on the hook for 12 years at, $25 million a year or more for Cody Bellinger. But according to the gamblers, the Giants are the 7-1 choice. They're the 5th choice. So 4 teams have greater odds than the Giants. So which free agent out there do the Giants have, according to the gamblers, the best chances of signing? And, the one, I mean, this one really surprised me. I got to be honest, I did not. If you had said if you had asked me the question, what free agent are the Giants, most likely to sign according to the odds, I probably would have said um, maybe Matt Chapman because of the connection to Bob Melvin and the A's. Maybe Sonny Gray because of that same connection. Possibly Shohei, just because there's a lot of talk that Shohei, wants to stay on the West Coast, and and obviously the Giants are one of the teams on the West Coast with deep pockets, and there is a lot of speculation that he kind of wants to go somewhere where he can be like the primary guy. Would he be the primary guy in LA? Would he be the primary Japanese superstar if he went to like a Seattle, considering they've already had Ichiro Suzuki? So maybe that pushes the Giants up front. So I thought maybe Shohei. I'd heard so much about the Giants' interest in Yamamoto that I'm like, well, maybe it's Yamamoto. Maybe Yamamoto's the guy that they have the greatest odds to sign. It's none of those guys. Believe it or not, the free agent that the Giants, according to the gamblers, have the best chance of signing, and this is just among the premier guys, is Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola, the right-handed pitcher from the Philadelphia Phillies. The Giants are 3-1 to sign Aaron Nola, and they are the second betting choice. So Aaron Nola, who, this year, 32 starts. He had a 4.46 ERA. He was 12-9. He had a 2.1 WAR, 193 and two-thirds innings, struck out 202. He's 30. He's a right-handed pitcher. He was drafted by Toronto in the 22nd round of the 2011 June amateur draft at a Catholic high school in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then the Phillies took him in the first round of the 2014 June amateur draft after he bypassed signing with Toronto at a high school and went to LSU. So he's from Baton Rouge, got drafted by Toronto at a high school, didn't sign, went to LSU. Phillies took him in the first round, 7th overall, and he signed. And he's been a really solid major league pitcher. There's no question about it. I mean, he's 90 and 71 career, 3.72 ERA. He broke in 2015 with the Phillies, who went 6-2. 2016 he went 6-9. 2017 he went 12-11 with his best ERA to date at 3.54. Then he won 17 games in 2018 with the Phillies, 17-6 with a 2.37 ERA. And when you look at those numbers that year, 212 innings, 149 hits, 224 strikeouts. I mean, those are really, really good numbers. So that was his bust out year. Then 2019 he goes 12-7. And the nice thing is he doesn't miss starts. I mean, makes a lot of starts. He made 33 starts in 2018, 34 starts in 2019. 2020, of course, was the COVID year. 71 innings, 54 hits, 96 strikeouts. He made 12 starts. 2021, he made 32 starts with the Phillies. He went 9-9, 500 year. 2022, he made 32 starts with the Phillies, went 11-13. And then this last year, he made 32 starts with the Phillies, had a 4.46 ERA, which is not great. 193 and a third and two-thirds, 178 hits, 202 strikeouts. So, I mean, he was 4th in the Cy Young balloting in 2022. He was 7th in the Cy Young balloting in 2019? No, 2020. 2020, he was 7th in the Cy Young Award balloting. He was in the Cy Young Award balloting as well in his 17-6 season. He was an All-Star in 2018. So interesting. I mean, he's an interesting pitcher for sure. He's a durable pitcher. You look at those numbers and you say he's a very solid major league pitcher. Would he be the ace of their staff? Possibly. He's right there. Him and Logan Webb probably would be almost like co-aces. I don't think he's as good as Yamamoto, but I think he's probably better than Sonny Gray. He's been durable. He's 30. He's right in the middle of his prime. So it is interesting. I mean, the Giants decided not to pay Kevin Gausman, who's basically in a lot of ways, a very similar guy. Also went to LSU. Also, had a lot of track record of success. Had big time stuff. They opted not to sign him. Let him walk away, and he went to Toronto. And now you've got Aaron Nola, and the Giants are one of the favorites. I mean, they're the second choice to sign Aaron Nola, and I believe Texas is the primary favorite to sign Aaron Nola. So there you go. Those are the odds on the free agent signings. As far as if you're looking at it from who's got the best odds, I guess Aaron Nola would be the number one at 3-1. Shohei would be number two at 6-1. And then Bellinger would be number three at 7-1. If you're looking though for, where do the Giants sit as far as, first choice, second choice, third choice, fourth, that kind of thing, they're highest on Nola and then Otani. So I don't know. I mean, you never know what indicators. There's rumors, and now we have this beautiful thing where they actually list odds for this stuff. So I always like to look at the odds, especially when it comes time for like stuff like this or the NFL draft where there's insider information and, there's agents involved and preferences and, guys who are talking to a number of different people. But to me, it's a really interesting way to look at it. And so if you're just going off the odds and you're saying which free agent of note are the Giants going to land, the gamblers say it's Aaron Nola. All right. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to Mojo Fantasy for sponsoring this video. Check that link in the description and make sure you use that promo code Krug and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit at Mojo Fantasy. And everybody who does it automatically enters into a drawing to win a Purdy or a Bosa jersey on Thanksgiving night. And thanks to all you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube.